we are going to talk about markets, NFTs, and Pokemon cards. It's great to have you, Georgie, back on the podcast. Thank you for being here.
I am so excited to talk about this. I feel like not a lot of people really take advantage of all of the markets, especially when the market in general is crashing. There's a lot of opportunities out there. Not everything is going down. A lot of things are still going up, but it just takes a little extra work and curiosity to tap into them and take advantage.
Hmm. Absolutely. I mean, there are so many opportunities right now, and there are different asset classes that people can look into to invest, and we are going to talk about all of that today. So, the last time that we talked, it was a bull market, and things were going pretty solid for the markets, people investing. There were a lot of people getting into the markets, and this time around, it's kind of a recession. It is a recession, and we are in a bear market. So how have things changed in the last 1 year for you and people around you? How are they perceiving the markets, or looking at the markets right now as compared to last year?
I'm noticing a lot more hesitation, less excitement from those around me. They are just kind of seeing my story where I'm investing my money and it feels like it evaporates as soon as it touches the market. But I know better because it's just like fitness, right? You could be eating a lot of calories, for example, going to the gym consistently, working on your abs, but no one will be able to see them. But under that layer of fat that you're building to turn into muscle, there are very strong abs. And as soon as crypto winter is over and stock winter is over, they will see your abs because summer is coming. So the same thing with investing. Your shares are growing. You're buying more and more shares. And one thing that a lot of people forget about is the classic dividend approach, because the more shares you have, the more dividends you receive. Because most companies, especially old school companies, they don't stop paying out their dividends. It's the same amount of dividends that you're receiving per share, and shares are cheaper. So for dividend like seekers, people who want passive income later on in life, this is a fantastic opportunity, in my opinion, to go for the classic dividend paying companies.
Absolutely. I mean, dividend investing is like one of the best types of investing, because you're making passive income for the money that you've invested in companies that are making profits. So there were a lot of people who were investing in crypto last year, and even stocks before that. So as now we have entered a bear market. The people that have stuck around, the people who are still sticking around, are they around you? Are they investing more in stocks, in crypto, or any different asset class?
It's very hard to convince people right now. I noticed the engagement even on my Instagram page has decreased greatly as people are afraid to touch the market. Again, the same narrative. This time is different. We heard it 2 years ago. We heard it in 2008, 2009. We heard it in 2000. We heard it time and time again. And every time, those people who were skeptical, who were afraid, were maybe justified in their fear, but they were wrong for letting their fear dictate their investing strategy. That's what I'm seeing a lot of. As for myself, I have not changed my strategy too much. It did pivot a little bit as I'm focusing a little bit more attention on NFTs, a little bit more attention on alternative assets like trading cards, and I'm seeing institutions go into alternative assets like trading cards and other collectibles too, like rare books and comics. And we're seeing the OG ones, like the blue chip comics, the blue chip sports cards are still skyrocketing. New records are being made in a bear market. And because it's such an exclusive market, some people just refuse to sell because the whole market is in the hands of a few people who are less prone to needing money since they're investing in these kind of high-end blue chip sports cards. For me, I'm still, though, advocating for index funds. Most of my money, most of my check for my 9 to 5 goes towards index funds. Again, like I made a post on my Instagram where I started off this year with maybe 40,000 more dollars than I have right now, and I am just investing every month and it looks like it's disappearing. But even though my money amount isn't increasing, my shares are increasing, and I know in the future that's where the value is going to come from.
So the last time that we talked more about investing in stocks and in index funds. Now your strategy has changed a bit in terms of investing in NFTs and crypto. I want to talk about investing in cards and books, the blue chip books that as you mentioned. But before that, what made you change your or pivot your strategy towards investing in NFTs and crypto
Yeah.
and basically the blockchain
Yeah.
area of investing?
So the first time I touched crypto was the previous bull market. It was 2018, I believe, and I bought Ethereum for $875. It dropped in the previous bear market all the way down to $83. So think about that. 875 turns into 83, 90% wiped out, and I held through that. My mistake was I didn't use the principles of investing in stocks, the traditional principles of investing every month, have a strategy, don't go all in at once. So I rushed into crypto last time, but this time I know better. I'm applying the principles. I made my mistake. I don't regret buying Ethereum back then. I regret not buying more of it throughout the bear market, because even today you would have about times 13 if you were buying at the bottom of the last bear market. And in context, this is a crash like the Great Depression in the terms of the blockchain space. So we're seeing huge losses. But what's amazing about losses in the crypto space that's very attractive to me is you can actually sell it at a loss and write it off your taxes and buy it back in about 10 minutes or less, and you still have the same assets. It's an amazing hack that it exists right now. I don't think it'll exist forever. So up until 2022, so far in the United States at least, it is illegal to do that. I can't imagine it existing much further. So if you are investing consistently into crypto, you don't care if it goes up or down. As long as you're investing for the long run, there's a lot of opportunities there. I increased my allocation to crypto to 8%. So I'm investing 8% of my 9 to 5 money into specifically Ethereum. That's the coin that I'm most passionate about, but it's less about the coin and more about the ecosystem behind it. Now I know there's pros and cons, so every now and then I will buy some altcoins. And even I'll buy the original Bitcoin, but usually I focus on Ethereum. That's where I see the most a magic basically happening for the future. I see Ethereum going against all institutions until they have to buy in. We will see what happens with that. There's obviously some problems with regulation. I think a lot of people are selling right now because in the United States, the head of the SEC is very anti-crypto, which is scaring a lot of people, and a lot of big money is just sitting on the sidelines waiting. And I'm going to take my 8% risk, and if it goes to zero, it goes to zero. That's why it's only 8% of my income that's going towards crypto. That being said, you asked about NFTs as well. Well, with NFTs, I am investing, but I am also flipping. I see a lot of power in just buying and quickly selling it for a profit on the spot. A lot of NFT projects are going to die out. Everyone agrees with that. But when it comes to flipping, that's immediate profit. Now, I actually made about $1,000 flipping NFTs last month. And I was talking about it on Instagram, and I lost like 500 followers because they thought that it was a scam. But I don't know. Why would a person risk 20,000, 30,000 people on the internet and their reputation for, telling them, hey guys, I made $1,000, you can do it too. I'm really bullish on this app called Veve. That's where a lot of my crypto trade or NFT trades are being placed. I just got an airdrop the other day for $60 just as a gift because I simply participated in their ecosystem. I placed a bid on their first ever one of one NFT, and they rewarded me for participating in that. I didn't pay any money. So that was a quick $60 I made, and I know a lot of people in poverty, a lot of people right there just getting their first jobs. They would benefit way more from NFTs than they would from stocks. Um, when you're building your first $5,000, turning $100 into 150 is a huge deal. But with
Yeah.
stocks, that'll take 5 years maybe. That'll take a long time to get 50% returns, the conservative route. That's why I believe that if you see an opportunity in front of you and it seems like a for sure hit with NFTs, that's very possible because it's not like all NFTs are brand new. So the Bored Apes, for example, that was a brand new project. That was a huge risk. But by the time the mutant apes come along, there's already some history there. With Vivi, what they do is they tap into communities that already exist. Communities like Marvel, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Disney, or the Disney princesses, Back to the Future, and it goes on and on and on. So they don't need to build the community exists. And it's companies like Disney that are saying, hey, this is worth it for us. We're going to test it and we're going to make money off of every trade. And if Disney is getting in on it, I'm also willing to experiment with 1% to 2% of my income and put it in there. But sometimes you see a for sure hit, like I said earlier. One quick story is the very first Spider-Man comic that ever released. It sold in 2021 for $3.6 million. And on Vivi, they had the official NFT version from Marvel, 10,000 copies. If you're going to spend $20 on anything, it's not going to be stocks, it's not going to be crypto, it's going to be that NFT. Because I believe that, oh, the first Spider-Man, are you kidding me? On the blockchain, the comic version, that's a for sure. Like, your 20 is not going to go down anytime soon, even if you're flipping. And it actually times 10 as soon as it released. So I wasn't able to get one, but a lot of people didn't take the chance. Someone on Instagram messaged me and said, yo, not only did I hit one, but I hit the ultra rare, which means in 1 hour, their 20 became $3,000. You can't do that with stocks. You can't do that with crypto. You can only do that in this brand new space of NFTs, and it is worth risking $20 for something so legendary.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a crazy world that we're living in currently. I mean, there are so many opportunities just in NFTs. I've been involved in NFTs for about a year now, and mostly I've been involved in ETH NFTs, and I'm doing flipping and investing via OpenSea. So VV is new to me, and I was not sure as to how it worked earlier, but walk me through as to what is the process of getting started on VV.
Vivi makes it really simple as opposed to paying gas fees and getting ETH, transferring it to your wallet, transferring it to the OpenSea or even NFT. Coinbase is now experimenting with it. I think Crypto.com has their own platform for NFTs as well. Vivi makes it easy. You put your credit card information in and you get your credit card points. So you're getting paid to do it, so it's the opposite of gas fees. Now you're getting some money back for simply through Apple purchasing what they call gems inside the app, and those gems are run on a cryptocurrency called OMI, the OMI token, MOI. And I think last year I might have even mentioned that I've been investing a little bit into the OMI token, buying it here and there. Of course, bear market is going straight down, and I'm okay with that. That's a risk that I was willing to take. But the NFTs that run on OMI, all you do, say you want to buy a drop that's coming, and it's let's see, the last one that was really cool was the lamp from Aladdin, the genie lamp, where Aladdin rubs it and the genie comes out. So that lamp was about 40 gems, which transfers to $40. You would transfer $40 and you would be ready. And on the West Coast, it was 8 a.m. You click buy it now right at 8 a.m. If you were lucky enough to get it, it would appear in your kind of collectibles space in the app. And then they had a special surprise. Everyone who bought that lamp would also get Walt Disney's signature D, the logo of Disney, as an airdrop gift. So that lamp, you had to be the original person to get it. Immediately that lamp went from 40 to $90. So what's cool here is we're not talking about 1 ETH or 2 ETH. We're talking about 40 bucks, not 1,300, which is around what ETH is today. So it's a lot more accessible to a lot more people. It depends on the country you're in. Some countries for right now are not allowed on Veve, and hopefully they will expand their markets soon. But once you bought that lamp, you could literally list it on the secondary market and you would double your money. And then, of course, Disney would take their pay cut, which is about 6 to 8%. Veve would take 2%. That's how they stay in business. And you would still have about $78 to $80 left, doubling your 40 that you invested. And in about 5 hours or so, you would also receive your Disney D, which was selling as high as $250. So your 40 bucks became 340. And the lamp actually kept going up because people are obsessed with fulfilling and filling their collections. So they want to have full sets because Veve in the future promised time and time again to reward collectors. So if you have the lamp and the D, that will score you some points for maybe getting lottery tickets, which you could trade in for future drops, or getting drops early, because some of these drops, like the Spider-Man drop, that was a times 10 your money kind of drop. Actually, today it's times 20, but I don't want to get people confused because there's a whole secondary market to these NFTs as well.
So, for people who do not know, who are very new to NFTs, tell us how do these secondary markets work? What is the process like when you first mint out your collection, or when you first get a chance to purchase your NFT, and how does it work from there to getting on the secondary markets?
Yeah, so with Veve it's very simple. You simply buy it. If you're lucky, some drops are better than others and have a lot of competition, and you have less than 1 second to click buy it now. Sometimes it's not worth it, and sometimes it's a gamble because they have different rarities like common, ultra rare, secret rare. But some drops, it does not matter the rarity. You know it is a hit. Especially some of the Spider-Man comic ones can be amazing. You might invest $15, $20, and it becomes 80. Worst case scenario. There was one that was really cool, which was the Darth Vader drop. Darth Vader was $80. I had 3 phones, my mom, my girlfriend, and me, and we all put 80 bucks in. All of us got the drop, and we got common, uncommon, uncommon. Now that already gave us like $30 to $50 profit for all of us. So that was the worst case scenario, unless we didn't hit the drop. But the ultra rare immediately on the secondary market was going for about $1,100, and you had a 18% chance of getting it when you click buy it now. So very high probability. Today, that Darth Vader, it actually went as high as 2.5K on the secondary market, and then it dropped all the way down to $850. I didn't pick it up, and then now it's hovering around 1.1K. So the secondary market is, again, supply and demand like all markets. But what's interesting is because it's such a small community, I'm talking like maybe 1 million users and 30,000 that are constantly active, you might have different prices in the morning than you do at night. So those are things to take advantage of. The floor can be so thin that in 1 second, someone can swoop the whole floor for just like $30 if it's like a $2 comic, and it's gone. There's also people who build walls, meaning they buy 100 of these comics and they list them all for $3 just to be funny and get their name like popularized on the app that they did that. In the secondary market, though, on Veve specifically, you can sort it by mint number. So people love special mints. For example, for Star Wars, they go for the year that Star Wars was created. I don't remember the year, something I think 1960s or 1970s, and they go for those years, or George Lucas's birthday, or character's birthday. They also go for funny numbers like 420 and 69, those types of things. Mints under 100, those usually fetch a premium. So I actually have a story where there was Ursula, the evil queen from Little Mermaid, and I bought it for about 8 gems, about 8 gems or so, and it was reselling for like 7, so it was a huge minus. It was just like, okay, whatever, but my mint number was 79, which is under 100, and there's 13,000 numbers. So all I did was list it on the secondary market for 55, and someone bought it. So it goes to show you, people are willing to pay X8 for a very special mint number. So that's important. Like if you're buying like even a mutant ape, right? During this crash, a lot of people taking advantage, but some people buy the floor just to get into the community. But some people who have way more money, they're looking for special features like a crown or something very rare, and those might flip for way, way more as we have art collectors come into the NFT space.
So what is your current strategy like? We have talked about flipping NFTs for a quick profit, and but when it comes to, let's say, if you're investing in NFTs, it couldn't be you're locking in your money for, let's say, the next 2 years or 1 year. It has to be way less than that. So what is your current strategy like when it comes to investing in NFTs? Let's say not like, let's say, a mutant ape, but let's say other NFTs.
Yeah. So when it comes to NFTs on Veve, what I'm going for is strategy. There are certain drops that haven't happened yet that we know will happen. For example, they dropped Darth Vader. Well, guess who's going to come eventually? Yoda. If they drop Darth Vader, they're going to drop Yoda. And I listen to what the CEOs of Veve are talking about, and they're saying things like, yes, we love Star Wars. That's a hint, right? They dropped a collection of lightsabers. But who's going to hold those lightsabers? You're going to attach your green Yoda lightsaber to Yoda. One of my strategies is also to look at previous mint numbers. Like, for example, Darth Vader, the ultra rare mint numbers are all under 6,000, which means when I'm looking at lightsabers, I'm looking at mint numbers under 6,000, not 7,000, 6,000. So I actually sorted all the lightsabers by mint number, and it was very, very hard to find it. Out of like maybe 20 lightsabers, one will have a mint number in the low 5,000s or below, and those are the ones that I will pay a premium for. Like instead of $25, I was paying $27, which it's just a $2 difference. But if you're thinking about future fees and things like that, it does add up, and that is already like an 8% or so, 7% difference. And in the stock world, it matters. I always think in terms of stock. 7 to 10% is a year's worth. So I'm paying more than a year of what this $25 would get in the S&P 500, the top 500 companies. So I'm going for these lightsabers, knowing that one day Yoda will come out, and the ultra rare version, people are probably going to want to match the mint numbers. So I'm stacking these cheaper NFTs, and when I see them like dropping in price, if there's like a crash, I'm buying a couple more. So I've been buying, I don't have too many lightsabers, maybe like 4 or 5, but whenever I see them for a certain price and someone lists a lower mint number on the floor, I'm sweeping in and I'm buying it with the airdrop money that Veve gave me. So I'm making money with money that they gave me, which is a win-win and just an awesome situation. I also happen to know that I got lucky, but it originally cost $60 to even mint a lightsaber, and all the lightsabers except the secret rare dropped way under 60. I'm talking 20, 25, 30. So I'm buying those up because I know people lost a lot of money trying to get those, and it costs $60 to even try. So I'm getting them for one third of the price. I'm very happy with that, and I'm going for those low mints. Now, my girlfriend has a different strategy. She saw the Disney Princess drops, and she was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting the full collection. Because in the future, when you have parties, as iPhones even get more advanced, these NFTs, you already can. They use the AR technology, just like Pokemon Go, so you could take a picture with your NFT. Now imagine a 5-year-old little girl having a party, or a boy, I don't know, I'm not going to judge, and you love Disney princesses. Well, now you have like a stencil of Ariel behind you with a curtain, and you're standing there. Imagine going to Disneyland and you do that there with an actual Ariel like cosplay character. And that's an experience that you can't buy outside of the NFT space.
So, when it comes to, you just mentioned that, when the flow price drops and you just try to swoop in. For me, it's like, I analyze this flow price and the NFT that I'm interested in for, let's say, a few weeks before I actually get in a good entry point. So, but when the market drops suddenly, how do you prepare yourself to basically get in, or stay out of the market for a bit and then get back in?
So, like I mentioned earlier, Darth Vader is an NFT that I really, really want. I think Star Wars has a huge community. Not everyone in Star Wars likes NFTs, but I do believe eventually they will have to join on board as Star Wars video games come out using or that are compatible with NFTs. So, when Darth Vader dropped to 850, I even went to my mom. I was like, Mom, this is a very good price. It was 1.1K, it was 2.5K. This is the floor right now. It is the mint number, I didn't even look at it, but it's an ultra rare Darth Vader, which moves and things like that. Like mutants and Bored Apes, they stand still. But this was something that has automation to it. And I was just like, Mom, I have to do this. And she was like, son, don't do it. And I regret listening to my mom, but also I had to be disciplined because I already made an expensive NFT purchase earlier that month, which was the original Mickey Mouse Steamboat Willie, which is, I think, the 1950s Mickey Mouse, black and white, where even Walt Disney himself would voice over Mickey Mouse. So I got the ultra rare, the highest version that you can get, because with NFTs and Pokemon cards and other collectibles, we noticed that it's the high-end stuff that really preserves its value during a crash. So I already spent like $700 doing that. I had the money to, but I couldn't. I would break my investing principles if I bought that Darth Vader for a very good entry price. So I am willing to pass up really good deals, or deals that seem good, because no one can predict it. Maybe that Darth Vader could drop another 50% in a week from now, and then I would have a much better entry point. So I limited myself to one per month if I'm going for a very, very big one. And even that is a lot of money. I would rather have money for drops, which a lot of times is a guaranteed profit if you land it. So that's been my strategy. It's not perfect, but again, this is 1 to 2% of my portfolio. And a lot of these NFTs used to cost way more. Like the Steamboat Willie NFT, ultra rare, that used to be an $8,000 to $10,000 NFT, and now it's $700. So I'm really buying them at a steep discount from the previous bull market, which correlated with the crypto market. It was February of I believe 2022, this year, when NFTs, everything crypto was at the peak, and then we had the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and that seemed to be the main variable to send the whole ecosystem tumbling down. So I'm seeing the same macro effects. So I'm like, look, I'm going to take advantage of it in this very tiny market and just stack the NFTs that I can stack. Another tip is I look for the branding behind these NFTs, and I see if they have any other projects on OpenSea or NFT Coinbase. And that happened to be the case with one called the Rewind Collective. And that's what made me $1,000 trading NFTs on NFT Coinbase, because I already saw their success on the Veve platform, and I decided to go for their drops. It was very easy to hit them. Only 5 people could do it, and I was very fast in the mornings. My best flip was a Frida Kahlo NFT, the Mexican artist, and it was 0.08 ETH. I went in, I bought it, I listed it for 0.5, and in 4 days it sold. And that was an amazing NFT flip. So I study ecosystems like Veve, and then I see, can I do this on OpenSea? Can I do this on NFT Coinbase? Can I find other small niche NFT markets and take advantage? I haven't looked into the GameStop one, but with GameStop I make some money flipping their Pokemon cards and pre-orders that they allow me. I'm a GameStop member. I have a membership there.
So I just wanted to shift the topic from NFTs to Pokemon cards and what it is like investing in cards from your perspective.
Yeah. So with cards, a lot of people laugh and they're saying that this is hype, it's a temporary thing that's happening, but people have been collecting baseball cards for 1 century, right? That's a long time. Stocks, right? We use 100 years to measure the success of the stock market. Well, I use 100 years to measure the success of trading cards. It's not different. It's simply because it's more tangible, right? You're holding it in your hand, but you used to go to the bank and get like a stock certificate. So it's not that different. It's a little bit more old school, and we're even seeing NFT technology enter the space where they put it in a vault, and you have NFT access to your card or collectible where people will buy the NFT off of you, and it represents ownership of what's inside the vault. You can borrow against that value. You can put cards and ship them out there, and they will protect it for you. So forget about security. Usually there's a small fee, but I think it's easy to waive it if you meet certain requirements. You do have to have some amount of money. Like you have to show them you have at least 5 figures, I believe, like $10,000, so you can afford these cards. But if you're sending cards in, they will take them and let you borrow from your own cards, which is just, again, an amazing futuristic thing that no one was taking seriously 2 years ago, and now it is a whole system. We have in the United States the Public app, which just purchased an alternative asset also trading platform. I forgot the name of it, but it's a lot like Rally Road, and you can trade shares of collectibles and trading cards there. And now you could do that on Public. So you could be trading Pokemon cards next to Microsoft stock. This is the future.
So when we just talked about how rarities are in terms of NFTs. How do rarities work when it comes to Pokemon cards or baseball cards? What it is like when it comes to cards?
Depending how rare it is, right? Like, it can't just be you'll get this card in every 100 packs. That's very rare, right? But how much time has passed since that pack came out? If it's been 50 years, you're probably looking at $1 million card. If it's been 1 year, you're probably looking at a $600 card, because it has to be preserved through time. That's where we're seeing the card market crash right now. A lot of the modern cards are crashing because you could still go to a store, pay $4, get a pack, and get that card inside of it. The old stuff, that's where the treasure lies. That market has been going up steadily. I think it's up. People have indexes that track this stuff. I think it's up about 8% for the whole year, which compared to every other market is huge, right? If you subtract the difference between the two, not only is the S&P 500 down 20% or 21%, this market is up 8%. That's a profit of 29% if you were going to invest in the S&P 500. Now you can sell your shares of your collectible and go invest it in the market while it's down 21%. So it's a pretty cool way to diversify that more and more people. Let me tell you, I've been on Instagram. I follow people who have millions invested. They meet up in secret rooms and they talk about why should we invest in these cards? Why should we buy these sealed video games? Why should we go for these paintings? They're looking at it the same way as people looked at fine art. Even today, or 10 years ago, 20 years ago, fine art's been selling for millions and millions of dollars. And we're seeing the same thing happening with cards, because at the end of the day, it's art and history.
So for someone who's very new to cards, who's wanting to invest in cards for the very first time, what are some of the things that they should keep in mind before they get into the card asset investing category?
Yeah. I would say, just like with the VV drops, look for those opportunities where it might be a contest or something like that, or a pre-order opportunity. Start by flipping a little bit so you get a feel for the market, so you don't have to learn everything, but only the new stuff. For example, follow people on Twitter that announce drops. Join Discord groups that say, hey, right now Best Buy has these cards up on their site. Sometimes you have to pay for that information, but by going to Best Buy's site, now you have a 1 minute advantage before all of Twitter knows about it, and that 1 minute can make you hundreds of dollars, because you could buy like 3 of these boxes. Last year there was a box that was selling for $120 in retail, and the resale right now is $280. That beat every other asset class. Like nothing nearly tripled or x 2.5. Like Pokemon cards, certain sealed product. Just the other day I went to GameStop for a pre-release because I saw it on Twitter. It's 15 minutes from my work. I drove over and I put 3 pre-orders in. The down payment was $5 each, and I know that this is a new product. I watch YouTube videos on it. I see what the experts are talking about. It was a Charizard. People who don't know Pokemon, they know Pikachu and they know Charizard. So I bought 3 boxes of this Charizard, and if I go on eBay right now, I could sell my pre-order pass for $220 to $250, and I put a $5 down payment. The product cost $120 MSRP, so you're practically getting almost double your money after shipping and fees. So new products with famous cards, go for it. The Pokemon Center had a product where if you sign up quickly enough, it's a lottery system. You will get an email and you'll be able to order this Charizard card. I did it, my girlfriend did it, people at my work did it who didn't really care, but I told them to do it. And now so many of us got that lottery. I got it too, and we have to buy $20 of merchandise and we get that Charizard card delivered to us, and it is like a $50 to $60 card. So we're getting $20 of merchandise, so we're breaking even there. And we're getting this card on top of it, which is like 50 to 60, which is a great way for beginners to start investing or even flipping in this space. And the one more thing I want to add is, this is where the big money comes in. You can look at that Charizard card, and if it looks really well centered, like the picture's right in the middle, you hold it under a magnifying glass, there's no lines on it, there's no dents, you can carefully open it up, put it into a sleeve, pay $50 to $100 and send it to get professionally graded. If it comes back a 10, your $50 to $60 card plus $50 to $100, so you paid maybe $150 for insurance and all that, you get it back, you spent $150 at most, a 10 is worth $600. So that's the power of this. And if you get a 9, well then it's probably $300. If you get an 8, you probably broke even and lost some time. So that's the next layer on top of the trading card ecosystem, grading.
Before we wrap up, I just wanted to ask you, what advice would you give to people who are entering or learning about NFTs and card investing before they get into the markets, especially during this bear market?
Yeah, I think bear markets is the best time to get started, right? Like, people are the best time is always now, but people who are starting now are way luckier than people who started last year, because all those investors from 2021, they're going to have a psychological hurdle to get through, because all of their positions are in the red unless they invested in Pokemon cards, which not a lot of people do. I have friends who never invested in stocks, only Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, and they are already living a work optional life. which is amazing. Everyone said, man, guys, grow up, stop playing with cards. Well, now those cards bought them a house, bought them enough to take care of another animal like a dog. They can travel the world, and their trading cards pay for all of it. And they make so many friends along the way, because when you buy stocks, I bought Apple. Okay, not a lot of people are going to be your friend because you bought Apple, but they will be your friend because you have their favorite Pokemon card or Yu-Gi-Oh card. So my best advice would be, don't be afraid of people who are afraid. Just ignore that noise. Test it in. We're all losing so much money sitting on the sidelines. When we go to college, right, we pay like sometimes 6 figures and we don't get good returns. So we're okay with not getting good returns. Go to Pokemon cards, watch some YouTube videos on Pokemon. Pokemon is a lot nicer of a space than NFTs, no offense to any NFT fans, but Pokemon, the community wants you there because they need you for the future when they sell their collections. So there's a lot of new people coming in, 7-year-olds, 10-year-olds, playing cards with 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 60-year-olds, all in the same room. It's an inclusive community, inclusive for special needs. We got music stars like Steve Aoki, who is huge in NFTs, but also he's a very big voice in Pokemon, and he uses that money to spread it to people with mental struggles and needs and different like birth conditions, and help them out and give money to these families. And I'm seeing a lot of that in the Pokemon space. So all you have to do is go to a local card shop and just say, hey, I'm interested. And the card shop will probably give you free cards. They'll be like, okay, check this out. These are the new packs. Why don't you come to a pre-release event? You pay like $30. You build a deck, and you get to play all day and make friends. And those friends will teach you like what they're investing in Pokemon. So it's a very friendly space, and you're getting something more than just trades and wealth. You're getting a community. And in NFTs, that community is online, which is cool. But in Pokemon, not only is it online, but you meet in person. And one last cool story. Someone I was talking to on Instagram sold their Pokemon collection, like they had the whole original set of Pokemon, and they sold it to none other than legendary YouTuber and investor Andre Geek, who posts about stocks all day. He's got like 3 million, 2 million subs, and my friend walked up to his YouTube channel and he was on there talking about Pokemon. So a lot of people love this stuff. You can make friends with people who are musicians, who are traveling the world, famous rappers. Like everyone loves Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. It has community behind it. So if you're 4 years old and you're listening to this, start buying some cards. Keep them in their packs if you want to preserve the packs for the future. Packs go up, you could grade that. But that's my advice. Just have fun, watch some YouTube videos, and get started. The community wants you to be a part of it.
It's been great. I mean, first of all, thank you for being here again. And I mean, I gained a lot of clarity on Pokemon cards, NFTs. Like, I did not know much about Veve earlier, so I gained a lot of perspective from your side on it. And I'm pretty sure our listeners also, like, they gained a lot of perspective of on NFTs and Pokemon cards and cards in general, investing in general, in these asset classes. So thank you for that. It's been great to have you, and I'm like, pretty sure we'll be doing this again and again.
Yeah. I loved being here. Everyone can follow me, Funancialism, on Instagram or YouTube. You could see me talk about index funds, dividends, stocks, Pokemon cards, NFTs, whatever can make you happier and wealthier. That's what I'm talking about. Whether people like it, trust it, or not, if it's making me a profit, I'm talking about it.
We'll put your links down in the description, and people will surely follow you on all the social media platforms that you're on.
Hey.
Again, thank you so much for being on here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure and an honor, and I'm very lucky to be a part of this. Thank you.
Absolutely.